Media, are you ready? You are? Honorable Geoffrey Ruku. We know your name, but tell us your name. Then tell us if you are Christian, Muslim, or Hindu, or none of the above. Then you'll have to take an oath on the holy books there or through affirmation, as the case may be.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My name is Geoffrey Kariuki Kiringa Ruku. I'm a Christian.
So you'll take an oath on the Bible?
Yes.
So you may be upstanding. Hold the Bible in your right hand, raise it, and recite the oath.
I, Geoffrey Kariuki Kiringa Ruku, do swear that the evidence I shall give before this committee on the matters under its consideration shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Take your seat and sign to the oath. Honorable members and members of the media, for the record, Geoffrey Ruku is a sitting member of parliament. He's a colleague to all members of this panel, and he's been sitting and continues sitting in the chamber with them. That notwithstanding, members will ask you incisive questions to determine your suitability or otherwise for the position to which you are nominated. We'll start with an introduction. I'm the chairman of this committee, the Speaker of the National Assembly. I'll ask Honorable Junet.
Honorable Junet Mohammed, Member of Parliament, Suna East, Minority Leader, Member of this committee.
Nelson Koech, Member of Parliament, Belgut, Member of this committee.
David Kosing, MP Poko South, Member of this committee.
Robert?
I'm Ferdinand Wanyonyi, Member of Parliament, Kwanza, Trans Nzoia, and a member of this committee.
Abdul Rahim Daoud, MP for North Imenti, Meru County, and a member of this committee.
George Gitonga Murugara, Member of Parliament for Tharaka Constituency, Tharaka Nithi County, Member of the committee.
Milio Diamo Mabona, Member of Parliament, Suba North, Minority Chief Whip, and Member of this committee.
My name is Owen Bayer, Member of Kilifi North Constituency, Deputy Leader of the Majority Party, and a member of this committee.
Robert Mbui, MP Kadhiani, Deputy Leader of the Minority, and a member of the committee.
Stephen Mule, MP Matungulu, a member of this committee.
Dido Raso, MP Saku, a member of the committee.
Abdi Shuri, MP Balambala, member of the committee.
Mishimboko, MP Likoni, member of this committee.
Caleb Amisi, MP Saboti, a member.
Naisula Lesuda, MP Samburu West, and a member of this committee.
Thank you. The clerk.
My name is Samuel Jeroge, Clerk of National Assembly. I have with me officers of the National Assembly who are assisting in the Secretariat, led by Deputy Clerk Misera Kioko.
Thank you. Honorable Ruku, will you hand over your documents to the sergeant to pass on to the clerk for verification before we start? Honorable Ruku, you have been nominated by His Excellency the President to be Cabinet Secretary for Public Service, Human Capital Development, and Special Programs. As a nominee before this committee, give us a concise and precise story of your life. Who is Ruku? What do you stand for? Why do you think you are suitable for this nomination? In not more than 5 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman, Honorable Speaker. My name is Geoffrey Kiringa, as I've mentioned. I was born in a village called Gogore village in Getipuri sub-location, Getipuri location in Bere, North Sub-County. I was born in the year 1978, February date 15th. I went to school in our local primary school called Getipuri Primary School, proceeding to secondary school, Chicago Boys High School, which I later joined Catholic University of Eastern Africa, where I studied Bachelor's of Commerce. And later, I joined the University of Nairobi, where I did a postgraduate diploma in diplomacy and international relations. Later, I joined the same institution, University of Nairobi, where I did Masters of Business Administration in Finance. And I graduated in the year 2009, then joined Embassy of Israel. But before then, I taught at Kenya Polytechnic then. Students who are doing diploma in diplomacy and international relations. Later I went to work with Oxfam GB for a period of 6 months under the Pan-Africa program. And I was interviewed for a whole year by the Embassy of Israel and given a job as the coordinator for international cooperation and development, where I worked for 3 years from December 2006 all the way to 2009. And I ventured into business sector, where I started my registered company called Carbon Man Africa. Later, we formed a joint venture with a French company. We named the joint venture Climate Power Limited. All these companies were involved in implementation of climate change projects, generating carbon credits and selling them in the carbon market. In the year 2015, I was appointed by President then as the trustee of Water Service Trust Fund, which is now Water Sector Trust Fund, where I served for 3 years. And later, I also worked in South Africa for 2 years, from year 2013, for 2 years here, from the year 2013 to 2015, as an independent contractor implementing raw carbon project, Propua raw carbon project in Madagascar, Malawi, and South Africa. Then I served also as a trustee, and later I filed for the parliamentary seat in the year 2022, where I was elected as a member of Parliament for Mbeere North constituency, the seat which I hold even now. Thank you, Honorable Chairman.
Thank you. I'll now invite members of this committee, starting with the minority leader, to ask questions. And like I said, concise, precise answers. No personal engagement in terms of arguments or whatever with the panelists. And members, even of you has a personal relationship that clouds your questioning of Honorable Ruku, you can say so when it gets to you. But we all know you are in the same house, so save us time by not telling us, oh, I'm a member of parliament with Ruku. We all know that. Junet?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to ask the nominee that in 2023, you proposed an amendment to the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act seeking to decriminalize aspects of public procurement, fund management, property disposal, and contract tendering, as stated in Section 45(2)(b) and (c) of the Act. And the bill faced opposition from stakeholders, including the ODPP and the Attorney General, who argued it will undermine anti-corruption efforts. Do you still uphold the objectives of the proposed amendment? In your view, was the criticism of the proposed amendment justified? And secondly, this one is, we are, looking at your suitability to be a cabinet secretary. And having served with you the last 2 years in Parliament, in the National Assembly in particular, you came out to me as somebody who was a bit hawkish in terms of when differences occur on the floor of the House, you looked a bit protective of the side that you represented. And as a cabinet secretary, you'll be serving the whole country, irrespective of their political affiliation and all kind of things. To the extent you appear to me to be almost like a bodyguard of a leader in Parliament. So what are your views on those?
Thank you so much, Honorable Chairman. I will start with the second question. Article 10 of our Constitution talks about the national values and principles of governance. The national values and principles of governance, Honorable Chair, which I subjected myself to these values, serving as a member of Parliament for 2.5 years now. And these are the same national values which I will carry on if I am nominated as a cabinet secretary. The Constitution.
You are already nominated. If you are found suitable.
Thank you. If I am found suitable. Because before I have been serving and preserving the interests, first and foremost, the interests of the people who elected me, the people of Beira North. But in my capacity as cabinet secretary, I will serve the entire nation without favor and without fear. Because service delivery from Turkana all the way to Ramu, from Mandera all the way to Busia, must be served in a uniform, in timely manner, in cost-effective manner, in efficient manner. Therefore, the second question or answer that, yes, I will subject myself to Article 10 of our Constitution, as well as Article 232 of our Constitution, which talks about the values and principles of public service. Knowing that I'm not partisan to any affiliation, but only taking the interests of the people of the Republic of Kenya. The question number 2 about my proposed amendment of Anti-Corruption and Economic Crime Act. The question which I asked myself, Honorable Chairman, is that we lose money through the corrupt activities or corrupt individuals. At the same time, we end up losing even more money through the process of investigations and prosecution. Investigation and prosecution which can take even 10 years. That process by itself take resources, take taxpayers' money. And therefore, if we can have laws which ensure that the prosecution of those who are caught in corruption activities is efficient, is effective, doesn't take 10 years, then those laws are critical, are important. We are supposed to enact them as the people representatives. That's why I was seeking to amend the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crime Act, Section 45(2)(b) and C, because also we have an Aryan word in this section, and that word is prior planning, which is not defined in the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act of 2015. The laws should be able to speak to each other. The prior planning term, which is found on section 45(2)(b) and C, is not defined within this act, and also is not defined in Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act of 2015. And therefore, the lawyers who go to court, they take all the time to really
the Office of the Public Service and Human Capital Development, CS. What is your understanding of human capital development? And number two, you're on record on having appeared on Citizen TV, one of the morning shows that I've been doing with you, and you did claim that TSC is riddled with corruption, from employment to recruitment and all sorts of manner of corruption. And you did propose that radical changes are needed. Can you please tell this committee one of those radical changes that you intend to introduce now if you are approved?
Honorable Chairman, can I ask?
Call to the questions. From Honorable Koech. Yes, Posing.
Honorable Chairman, our Speaker, two, I have questions. Number one is, I don't think if we are convinced with his response on the first, which was asked by Honorable our LM, is a very important question. Honorable Ruku, the picture which has been painted in the public is that you are actually fighting against transparency and accountability, and therefore you are a promoter of corruption. Because one, it's not only that anti-corruption bill that you wanted to amend, you also wanted to amend public demonstration. You also wanted to amend the data protection. All that puts you, and in fact we're also mirroring you with the position you're going, which is of public service. It puts you that you're actually promoting corruption, you are actually promoting anti-accountability and transparency. And therefore, it actually does not suit you to be in that office. That's what the picture is. You need to defend yourself before the committee. Finally, Speaker, I represent constituency of rural, right? And when I saw Honorable Chairman that Honorable Ruku is going to be in charge of special programs. Special programs, Honorable Chairman, is like an affirmative action for those communities that actually live in very difficult areas in this country, which is about 80% of this country. Honorable Ruku, how much do you know of this country? If I was to ask, do you know a town called Kacheliba, for example, or Elwak? Because if you are not somebody who knows the country, how will you then even make informed decisions in terms of special programs actually to help the people of Kenya? If you know Mbere and Nairobi, because I look at Mbere, Nairobi, Johannesburg, Ghana, and so on. So removing you from actually where these programs is, Honorable Speaker needs to convince me as a representative of the rural constituency. I thank you, Chair.
You can answer those four in quick succession. Two from Koech, two from Posing.
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Address me as Chairman or Speaker.
Okay. Sorry. Thank you, Honorable Chairman.
Chairman.
I'm not a chair.
Okay.
I'm sitting on one.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, I apologize. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I start with the question from Honorable Koech. One on TSC, Teacher Service Commission. It is true I'm on record saying Teacher Service Commission is corrupt. And it's because I have many classmates who are teachers, both at primary school and also in secondary schools. And I know these, my classmates have gone through what I've gone through the process of promotion. Some of them are not able to get promoted on merit. And in our sub-counties across the Republic, we have some corrupt individuals within Teacher Service Commission at the sub-county level who ask for bribes so that teachers can be promoted, whether in primary schools or in secondary schools. And as a representative of Beira North, I felt this is not right. This should not be the case. And that's why I called Teacher Service Commission that the practice which some of their officers at the level of sub-county, they should be stopped. For me to ensure as a Cabinet Secretary in charge of public service, there are quite a number of recommendations which I will come up with. One is to look at the act which operationalized the commission, so that we see whether Teacher Service Commission is an extremely huge institution, whether it requires a number of directories which are chaired independently, managed independently by probably 3 executive managers instead of 1. For instance, promotion and hiring of teachers. Management of insurances.
Honorable Ruku.
Yes.
Are you aware that TSC is an independent constitutional commission and does not fall under your jurisdiction if you are found suitable?
Yes, Honorable Chair, I'm aware, but also I'm aware as a Cabinet Secretary in charge of public service delivery, whether by police service, by teacher service, or by judicial service, must be efficient. I have to ensure they are efficient, effective, and even time-bound, and also cost effectiveness as the Cabinet Secretary in charge of public service delivery. So moving forward, Honorable Speaker, corruption in public service, in any sector of public service, will work with the respective colleagues, cabinet secretaries, to ensure we have a proper, timely, effective, efficient public service delivery and performance in all sectors of government. Question number 2 from Honorable Koech, whether I do understand human resource capital development. Yes, Honorable Speaker. The training aspect of those who are in public service is extremely important. At the moment, we have Kenya School of Government, which offers different training of different professionals in terms of working within public service. And training is a very key component in public service delivery, so that we can have competent, well-trained managers or officers within the public service who will be able to ensure services are delivered to Kenyans properly. And also the issue of innovations. We have very innovative public servants who are coming up with different innovation, but that has not been taken care of properly, Honorable Speaker. And I will move with speed to ensure those who are within public service, they can be able to do research, they can be able to be innovative, so that, and even we can motivate them through some legal we can come up with a legal framework on how to ensure they are properly compensated, the innovations are properly compensated, so that instead of having foreign innovations coming to our government, we have local Kenyans, we have individuals within the public human capital development competitive and responsive to the needs of the people of the Republic of Kenya. The question on whether I know Kenya, whether I have a good picture as far as Kenya is concerned. Honorable Speaker, yes, it is true I have traveled across this republic in my different capacities. In my CV, you may see Nairobi and Joburg. But in my time working, teaching as at Kenya School, Kenya Polytechnic, working with the Embassy of State of Israel, implementing carbon credit project in Kenya. I have gone in many countries, and it's true. For instance, we were doing a different research in Kapenguria. With when you are in the private sector, you tend to also add value to different other companies which I may not have put on my CV. But it is true, I have worked in different corners of this country. True, I have not been in a county like Mandera. But I have been in quite a number of, sorry? I have been in Kisumu County. I have been in Mombasa County. No. I'm just saying the counties which have been, and by the way, I come from a marginalized community, which is also a semi-arid. And when you look at the research, the issues affecting the people of Bere, where the constituencies which I represent, they are very, very similar to the issues affecting the people of Tana River, the issues of the people of Turkana and other corners of this country. Bere North is one of those constituencies that receive food distribution or food relief from the special program. And I know how this special program has really assisted the people of my community. And not only food distribution, also it is important to note that Bere North constituency receive porridge from Nakanek for all students, all pupils who are from PPP to all the way to grade 4. So my constituency, which is marginalized, is similar to all the constituencies which are marginalized in 23 counties, which are under arid and semi-arid areas. Therefore, having faced these challenges firsthand, having talked to the people in the special program to distribute food relief to my constituency, having talked to the people in the Ministry of Education under the NACONEC to ensure the children of Bere North who are in Roa Primary School are getting porridge every morning. I know the challenges affecting the children of Kenya in semi-arid and arid counties in the Republic of Kenya. And I will endeavor to ensure not only my children who I was representing are getting porridge and getting relief food, but other relief commodities, but all similar constituencies we have under these 23 counties in the Republic of Kenya. The last question was about
your legislative proposals. You come out as being anti-corruption. That's what he asked. Can you answer that?
Honorable Speaker, if you read the objects of amendment of Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act, we are very clear that the act seemed to criminalize frauds within the Public Procurement Act, which essentially should be criminalized. But at the same time, the criminalization of these frauds should not also make Kenyans, taxpayers' money be lost in a due process of prosecution and investigation. Honorable Speaker and my colleague, Honorable Kosin, will agree with me. Many cases, many corruption cases have been withdrawn. Many corruption cases have been acquitted. But monies, huge amount of monies, taxpayers' monies were lost. Acquittals have been there, withdrawals have been there, but monies from taxpayers were lost. We have not seen anyone asking that question. What happens because we acquitted this, but monies were lost? So there are other methods to ensure we are not going to lose money through corruption and at the same time lose monies through investigation and prosecution processes. That Kenyans lose two ways, through corruption and through administration of justice. So I am not in any way trying to promote corruption. Number two, Honorable Speaker, about the Assembly and Demonstration Bill. The Assembly and Demonstration Bill does not limit of them. What this Assembly and Demonstration Bill is trying to endeavor is to protect the rights of other persons who may not participate in demonstrations, in assemblies, in picketings, and presentation of petition to public authorities. They have also the right to enjoy the natural state of environment which they conduct their business in. They have the right to go to hospital without intervention, children to go to schools without any hindrances. So also the right of children, the right of those who are sick need to be protected. So I was seeking to ensure we conduct demonstrations in the Republic of Kenya without causing damage, without without losing life, because we have lost lives in demonstration. No life that should be lost because of demonstration. No property that should be destroyed because of demonstration. Children of the Republic of Kenya should go to school any time when the school is open. We have seen school getting crossed in this republic because of demonstration. So it's trying to bridge the two, the right of those who are demonstrating and also the right of those who are not in getting involved in demonstration, and especially the vulnerable, the sick, the old, and our children to enjoy the true state of environment.
Robert.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Honorable Ruku, you are being proposed to be CS for public service and human capital.
So there's a point of order from UNET.
Speaker, before we move forward, you see, the nominee is saying he's not limiting, he's not doing limitations of rights that have been given by the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, the Constitution provided in an Article 37, every person has the right peaceably and unarmed to assemble, to demonstrate, to picket, and to present petitions to public authorities. And it did not say there, Parliament should come up with legislation to implement that article. It is very clear in the Constitution that so long as you are peaceful and you are unarmed, then you are allowed to participate. But now you are bringing extra conditions to the Constitution that school children going, sick people, nobody is interested in those ones. Aren't you not curtailing this freedom enshrined in the Constitution? And if the people are armed and they're not peaceful, then it becomes a security issue now. The security people have the legal mandate to deal with such cases. Why are you not using Parliament to curtail that right?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Article 7 gives two conditions for Kenyans to be able to enjoy the right to assemble, to demonstrate, to picket, and to present petitions to public authorities. These conditions are peace chaplains and unarmed. Honorable Speaker, we know we have seen armed demonstration, violent demonstrations in the Republic of Kenya. For instance, 1 week ago, we saw doctors demonstrating at the gate of the National Assembly. It was peaceful. It was not armed. That is what the Constitution talks about. Such kind of demonstrations are so much encouraged and well taken care of under the Article 37.
Mr. Speaker,
but also, Honorable Chair, we have seen destruction of superhighway because of demonstration. We have seen Kenyans losing life during demonstration. We have seen many Kenyans losing property. Supermarkets across the Republic, along Ruto Avenue, destroyed. Supermarkets of one of the honorable members from Kieni, completely destroyed because of demonstration. So as long as we have peaceful demonstration, we have seen teachers demonstrating peacefully and unarmed. Those demonstrations are the intent and the letter of Article 37 of our Constitution. But the demonstration which we have seen where we have lost lives, where we have lost property, where destruction of national infrastructure or installations, those demonstrations are not foreseen in our Constitution. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, no, I'll not allow that. Robert?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker, but it's important.
If we have
to
time,
tell
I'll
him,
give you an opportunity later. Robert?
It's important to remind the CS that, in fact, a lot of loss of lives in those demos came from police bullets, not the demonstrators. Now, these nominees for the office of Public Service and Human Capital Development, and this nomination comes at a time when our public service is reeling under excessive deductions in their salaries because of additional taxation and, of course, increase in the deductions from NSSF and even the health fund. Now, and you know that, of course, salaries have not also gone up commensurate. Now, in one of the TV shows that you frequented very, very much, you did support very, very strongly the introduction of a tax that had been proposed for vehicles. In fact, you said when people have vehicles, then basically that is an income-making tool and that they should pay taxes. As you go to this office, do you still hold that view? Now, the second question is that recently one of our colleagues was captured telling fellow colleagues that they need to support the regime because when you support the regime, then you can be given letters to go and appoint people in your constituencies. And that was for Teacher Service Commission. Now, this is another commission that employs on behalf of government. So my question is, what are you going to do to ensure that there is not skewed employment and that employment does not become, a preserve only of those that are in the ruling party? Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Owen?
Thank you.
I've already said public service, TSC is independent.
Yes.
And they employ on their own. They will never refer to you when they are employing. If you find favor and you get appointed.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I want to declare that the Honorable Ruku is my friend, but I would like to ask him this question. That the Honorable Ruku is on record many a times propagating and promoting Mogoka, which is actually a very harmful substance among the youth. And it is also on record that he initiated the process of redefining Mira in the statutes to include Mogoka. And we know Mogoka is a very harmful substance to many, many young people. And he's been actually at the forefront to push for it being legal and being consumed and to profit his people. I want to use that, his people, those that he represents. Assuming that this committee actually approves you, Honorable Ruku, how are you going to shed off this tag that you only belong to the Mbere people and the Embu people that grow miraa? And how are you going to now take the other road that you have to protect the children of the people that serve in the ministry that are going to serve from the harmful effects of Mogoka? I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Let's take one more, Millie.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the question that I'd like to ask is, despite the responses that has been given by Honorable Ruku, it's really clear that your mind frame, while serving as a member of parliament, was more towards limitations, if I would say, of constitutional rights. If you are taken or if you take up this position, you will definitely be taking on a different role where you are not serving a constituency, but you are serving Kenya as a whole. When I look at your CV, in your earlier life, you worked a little bit with the human rights sector, Oxfam, GB, and all that. And you worked a lot on issues of gender-based violence, amongst other things. It may be a long time, and maybe that's the reason that you have deviated a little over the years. So my question to you is, would you be willing to have a clear paradigm shift from what has been evident in Parliament to have a clearer fidelity to the Constitution, where you focus on rights much more, enhance rights much more, and in specific on the issue of gender representation and ethnic diversity, because you'll be at a situation where you'll be called to do that. I'm just a little concerned that going by your mind frame while in Parliament, you seemed more guided, your philosophical leaning was more towards limitations, but you are going to serve Kenyans. Are you willing to take a paradigm shift that is more broadly embracing of rights, specifically gender, and issue of ethnic inclusion in appointments?
You can answer those three.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I will start with Honorable Miri question. And I want to assure this committee and Kenyans that I will ensure I abide by Article 232 of our Constitution, which talks about the values and principles of public service. And the values and principles of public service, the issue of fairness, fair competition and merit on the basis of the opportunities and promotions, as well as transparency, the issues of ensuring all communities in the Republic of Kenya are represented within the public service, as well as to ensure persons with disabilities, as well as members of all ethnic groups, are part and parcel of public service. Article 232 of our Constitution bides us and will be biding me more than ever before to ensure I am firmly within the spectrum of Article 232, as well as Article 10 of our Constitution, and I think also Article 73 of our Constitution, Honorable Speaker, which talks about the leadership, the responsibilities of leadership, and this is a very critical article in terms of the objectivity and impartiality in decision making, in ensuring that there is no nepotism within public service, no favoritism, or any other improper motive or corrupt practices. I will abide myself with Article 10 of our Constitution, 73 of our Constitution, and Article 232 of our Constitution as a Cabinet Secretary of Public Service.
Thank you. I think that's a good, fair comment. I'm just wondering, because you focus a lot on the issue of equality, I don't know what your perspectives in the Constitution are on equity, which is affirmative action, because you've not mentioned the component of gender. Because sometimes in being fair, you exclude, especially for a person like you who comes from a marginalized community. How do you intend to ensure that women are included, minorities are included? Of course, you've mentioned disability, so I won't harp on that.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I'm record on ASANS. I asked a question directed to Teacher Service Commission and also Public Service Commission on matters equity, on the issues to do with equity, and they responded my question. So even as a member of Parliament, I'm on record having asked a question on equity, and probably I can directly a question on Public Service Commission on action taken to mainstream marginalized groups and communities in the public service in line with Article 232. And also I asked a question on Teacher Service Commission on inclusivity in recruitment procedures and affirmative action, safeguard to teachers from marginalized communities. So this is matters, Honorable Speaker, I hold dear as far as equity, affirmative action, marginalization, gender mainstreaming within our community or our government or public service to ensure we run a just government and a fair system for all people of the Republic of Kenya.
Go to the next.
The Honorable Bayer, who has agreed that he did, we are friends. Honorable Speaker, I did not initiate the changes of definition of what Mera is. Honorable Speaker, it is the Committee of Delegated Registration which, through the Ministry of Agriculture, found it necessary to ensure there is no discrimination to the farmers of Mera. Mera or Mogoka is one plant genetically. In genetics terms, we call it Eduris. I'm forgetting the other botanical name of Mera. Eduris edaris. Eduris. Eduris? No.
Don't be misled.
No. Honorable Speaker, that's Honorable Junet is trying to. So the truth of the matter is Mogoka and Mera have a common botanical name, but different species. So the Committee on Delegated Registration through the Ministry of Agriculture was just ensuring that both Mogoka and Mera are properly captured under our laws so that there cannot be discrimination of farmers of Meru who farm Mera and farmers of Embu County who majorly do the farming of Mogoka. And it's not only farming of Mogoka happens in Embu County, but also in Makueni County, at the moment in Nyeri County, in Murang'a County, also in Nakuru County, even Machakos County. We have farmers who are doing the farming of Muguka. In Meru University, Honorable Speaker, we have an institute which is dedicated to the research of Mera. And all the matters, all the questions in terms of what my Honorable Mbaya is trying to claim, that Muguka is harmful, Mera is harmful, these are questions which can be answered by a government institution known as Institutes of Mera under the University of Meru, where we have researchers or professors doing the research in matters Muguka, matters Mera. And not only the chewing of Mera, but also value addition of Muguka and Mera. They have been found, there are research which have been documented and actually published in scientific journals on the benefits of Muguka, the benefit of Mera. There are scientific published journals from Meru University, also from the School of Biochemistry, Kenyatta University, done by one Professor Mario Pierongoge, who is a very good researcher now, the acting dean of School of Applied and Pure Sciences, Kenyatta University. He has done research on Muguka and Mera and medicinal value of this crop. So we may want to give a negative publicity of a very important plant, which can not only have economic benefit to the household in all those counties I've mentioned, but also as medicinal values in diseases like diabetes. I'm not an expert in that section, but there are professors who have found some of medicinal values for Muguka and Mera. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
To Robert Mbui.
Can I
be careful not to make. Yes, go on and answer Robert Mbui's.
Can I have a photo, Honorable Speaker?
Let me give a disclaimer. I want to withdraw the issue of medicinal values as far as diabetes is concerned, because I'm not an expert, but I know there are published journals which can be submitted to this honorable committee on medicinal benefit of Muguka and Mera.
Go to Robert Mbui. Yes, Owen.
Just a quick one. Honorable Speaker, I want to put it to the nominee that he used his privileged position in the delegated committee to push for a definition of a word of Mera in the statute, and for me that is legislative mischief. And Honorable Speaker, there is no way that a twig is the same as a leaf, because Muguka is a leaf, the other one is a twig. And I think he needs to. And when the youth take this Muguka, what medicinal value do they get? Honorable Speaker.
Go ahead and answer.
Thank you.
Did you use your position in the committee to advance a selfish interest?
No, Honorable Speaker, I never did that. There are more than 20. It's a committee of 21 members, and Honorable Speaker, I've only served as a member of the National Assembly for only 2.5 years. I don't think I have all those powers and roping capabilities which Honorable Mbaya is trying to claim, that within a very short period of my stay in Delegated and Registration Committee, and we are talking in 2023, meaning I had only served for a couple of months as a member of Parliament, that I had the capacity to do what you are calling legislative mischief. I think coming all the way from a marginalized community called Mbere, I come to the National Assembly, and within a couple of months, doing legislative assembly. I think that is wrong, Honorable Speaker, and is Honorable Mbaya is not right. It is the wisdom of the Ministry of Agriculture and the wisdom of the Committee of Delegated Registration, chaired by Honorable Chemkonga. So it necessary and fit and within the the statutes, the legal
Go to the
frameworks.
next question.
Yeah?
Answer the question by Robert Mbui.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Mbai, I will serve the Republic of Kenya without fear and without favor. The issues of employment will be cut across. The face of Kenya must be seen as per our Constitution, as per Article 232 of our Constitution. As a Cabinet Secretary in charge of public service, I will ensure these are issues which are mainstreamed within the public service. No nepotism as far as employment is concerned. When you talk about Public Service Commission, it is an independent, is a commission, is a constitutional commission. They have their clear-cut functions as a very important institution of our country. But also important to say, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Speaker, that government is not a net employer. Government is there to create an enabling environment for job creation, especially from our young people. And that is what I will endeavor to do, that public service create an enabling environment. If it's businesses which are coming to seek services in government in terms of business registration, at the moment it's about a week or so for a business to be registered. I will endeavor to ensure it is registered within the same day. Public service delivery, so that we can be able to create more jobs within all the sectors of our economy. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, he has not answered my question, my first question, because he was advocating for an increase in motor vehicle tax. Do you want our public servants to pay that tax, or you have changed your mind?
Honorable Speaker, public participation, the centrality of our Constitution is public participation. We may come as an executive with an idea in terms of taxes correction, but when we do public participation, we get a different answer or a different opinion from the Kenyans, from the public. So, centrality of our Constitution is public participation. It was very clear when public participation was done that indeed that was not appropriate tax. And I abide with the people of the Republic of Kenya. They are supreme.
George.
Thank you.
Then Daoud, then Ferdinand, in that order.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wish to get a clarification from the nominee on the basis that the government is actually the largest employer in the Republic. That goes without gainsaying. Number two, it consumes about 60% of our budget, slightly more, on wages. And therefore, there is a hue and cry in the country that the government wage bill is bloated. The converse of that is we have these hundreds of thousands of young people who are not employed. And the government should actually be working extremely hard to ensure that the youths get employed, they are able to eke out a living, either from the government or from whatever quarter. How will you, as the CS for civil public service and human resource development, how will you harmonize the issue of the bloated wage bill vis-a-vis the unemployment in the country, as a result of which we have very little money left for development?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If the nominee is ready, can I? We've heard a lot about ghost workers all over the public service, in the counties and all that. How do you intend to tackle the ghost worker phenomenon in the country so that we can reduce the wage bill? Secondly, there is a bill in Parliament which seeks to take away some of the powers of the Public Service Commission. What is your take on that, if you are aware? And if you're not, there is a bill which I took to Parliament, the Public Service Principles and Values of Public Service, which says each and every year you're supposed to submit a report on how we have done the public service, regards gender, minorities, disabled, and all that. Because we've not had that report for a long time. How are you going to tackle? Those are 3 questions. Thank you.
Ferdinand.
My friend is Geoffrey. We normally joke around with you. He's also a friend, but now on a more serious case, not joking. We joke quite a bit with you. First of all, the civil servants, I think it's just related to what other members. You're not come out very specifically. Civil servants are really not motivated. And now with that energy of yours, you go to become a minister, hopefully you will. How are you going to assist the civil servant to be motivated in their services? Because, first of all, salaries are not very good, and you know that very well. And so most of the civil servants you go around are very motivated. How are you going to do that? We want to bring this country to where it was years back. The other one is that, so very, very personal, my brother, to take money from the government and pay your personal bills. How are you going to do that? My brother.
Don't cause the nominee.
How are you going to do that? My brother.
Don't cause the nominee. He's just a nominee, he's not your brother.
No, we call each other brothers. I've carried this forward. So
for purposes of this,
for the purpose of this,
just a nominee.
Yeah, you are a nominee.
Yes.
How are you sorting out these problems? Thank you.
And answer Morogara, Dawood, and Ferdinand.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'll start with the issue of ghost workers. It is true, we have experiencing ghost workers within public service. And my definition of ghost workers, Honorable Speaker, is anybody who is employed by government or offering public service who report to work and disappears after 10 or so minutes. We have cases where doctors will go, or clinical officers, or even nurses will report to work, and within 10 minutes, Honorable Speaker, they are out of dispensary, out of the hospital, to other clinics within the surroundings. Those are ghost workers. We have procurement officers, Mr. Speaker, who have ensured government vehicles which are supposed to be disposed are lying on parking yards for years. So government end up losing huge amount of money when it comes to disposing some of these vehicles. Public procurement officers who cannot ensure the disposal of public assets are done in a timely manner, it end up making government lose money. These are ghost workers. And I will come up with information technology, or rather a system. We put a system in place which can be able to link all the government institutions. All the government institutions can be able to talk to each other in matters of civil servants who are reporting to work. The timesheet is an extremely important component moving forward, that once you go to your place of work, we are supposed to know you have reported at what time, and your output, what you have done that particular day, and what time did you leave your workstation. These can only be achieved through ensuring we digitize, we transform how public service is offered through a unified digital government framework. under the executive order 2023, did put the transformation of public service performance and delivery under the Ministry of Public Service. And I think having a unified digital government framework will enable us to solve some of these challenges we are facing as far as ghost workers are concerned. And it will help us in cutting the cost, in ensuring the service delivery is timely, is effective, is is effective, not only effective, but also time-bound. Going to the second question on bloated wage bill, yes, it is true the government of Kenya has a huge wage bill at the moment, and which need to be relooked at. But at the same time, when we are talking about bloated wage bill, Honourable Speaker, how can we ensure it is within the required space? The remuneration of public servants is very important, but it's the same which is increasing the wage bill. So a proper review of demand and supply of public services need to be done. The public servant who we have within the public service, do we need them? Probably there are those who we don't need them within the public service. The services which they are offering, are they truly needed? So this is a review which needs to be done so that we can be able to tackle the problem of bloated wage bill. But also, we need to automate the monitoring system to ensure attendance and output are commensurate. Because if you go to the office and you do nothing for the 8 hours, your output is zero. You don't need to be paid any coin from the taxpayers' money. So these are some of the reviews which we need to conduct urgently to ensure that indeed those who are working within the public service, their services are needed first and foremost, and where we don't have, we can be able to get the supply of the services. But also importantly, we need to unify and have a digital government framework, and I know at the moment the government is trying to digitize quite a number of services, but they are still disjointed. We need to ensure they are unified, and also we need to ensure that we don't pose security risk through having vendors of these systems coming from other parts of the world. We need to develop our local solution to ensure we don't pose security risk to our very vital information. So it must be a coordinated, sovereign, and cost-effective approach in terms of unifying a digital government framework. The other question is about motivation of civil servants. True, we have very hardworking civil servants who need to be motivated, but also at the same time we may be having some who are not very hardworking, and that's why the issues of service charter, which used to be there, are no longer very prominent at the moment. Moving forward, I will ensure the service charter is prominent. We know how long, if a Kenyan wants a service, how long that service should take and what the cost implication of that service. If it is an issue of getting title deeds, which has been a very big problem, services in our hospitals, services in our police stations, we need to ensure that there are service charters, and all the state departments or government bodies should go out there to the public to tell the public that this is what we do within our institution. or our state department. And the services which we offer to the public are this: it is your right, they don't cost money, they are free, and should not take more than this time. So the issues of service charter is a thing which I will ensure moving forward we are going to institutionalize in all the service, in all the areas of our ministries. Also, coming up with a legal framework which will ring fence the innovations which are done by by public servants, may it be in our universities, may it be in our different institutions, so that we can motivate this very hardworking and intelligent public servant in our institution. That if you come up with an innovative way of solving some of the problems we are enduring, then we are facing, then there is a legal framework on how you can benefit from your sweat. Not that the government will take your innovation and run away with it without even remunerating you in a way. We need a policy framework.
Go to the next question.
The question by my brother that from where I sit, I don't owe anybody. There is that I saw the petition, which is not sworn in as an affidavit. It's not done under the commission of oath. So, and it's a matter which has been there in court for even before I became a member of parliament. And Mr. Speaker, I would not want to comment on a matter which is active in court.
You can answer his question whether you'll use your position to spend public resources
Thank you.
to meet personal obligations.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. No, I will not spend government resources or public resources to do personal issues.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Honourable Speaker, on a point of order.
Introduce yourself, put yourself on record, so will Gikaria for the record.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. For the record, Kimani Ichung'wah, Member of Parliament for Kikuyu. Honourable Speaker, I was saying on a point of order, we are not asking Honourable Ruku to delve onto the matter in court and the merits or demerits of that case. What we'd want to know is a matter surrounding your integrity as a Cabinet Secretary nominee. Are there instances then, even on that matter in court, where you have defaulted in paying rent owed to a landlord whose house you occupied, and have you settled that debt? Because I think that is a matter that Member for Kwanza was trying to allude to, because again we cannot hide behind the sub judice rule that is a matter before court and the technicality of the matter not having been on a sworn affidavit. We therefore want to know, have you defrauded anybody, whether on rent or on any other matter, because the matter touches on your integrity as a public officer?
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I can confirm I have not defaulted or defrauded anybody on matters rent or matters concerning private business or private engagement. But we have very crooked people out there who may want to defraud you just because they think you have this title. Now they come up with all manner of claims. That's why, Honourable Speaker, I categorically say no to some of such individuals.
Yes, Caleb. Yes, Daud, which one?
My question about the Public Service Commission, being an independent commission, I asked you whether you are aware of changes which are being made to the Public Service Commission, and if you are appointed, will you interfere with the Public Service Commission roles?
Honorable Speaker, I confirm that the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya is clear on the functions and mandate of Public Service Commission, and I will abide by the Constitution of Kenya without interfering the mandate and functions of Public Service Commission. However, thank you.
Caleb,
Yeah.
then Mishi, then Shuria.
Yeah, thank you. I wish you were as brief as that. You'll have moved faster. Speaker, I just have two questions. One, the office that you are going to occupy, if you are approved by this committee, requires a person of high emotional intelligence. And you've seen previously public officers, after they're either impeached or fired, they come out and release information to the public, information that probably the public ought to have known while you are serving in that office. But we get treated to these theatrics after you've left the office. And that is actually from even your immediate, immediate former occupier of that office. It came out and released information, which of course should have been released earlier so that the public is supposed to know what happens in those offices. But why am I asking you this is because your bills that have come out, be it the Anti-Corruption, the Demonstration Act, it looks like they are out of emotion. If demonstrations were done by the other camp, maybe the supporters of Raila, they were done by Gen Z, they were not favorable to your side. And that's the reason why you decided this is how I'm going to handle my opponents. So this puts you on a person who lacks emotional intelligence. You act out of emotions, and this is a position that requires a person of high integrity as well as emotional intelligence. Are you emotionally intelligent enough not to treat us to another Muturi kind of theatrics? Then secondly, the Huduma Center and services, it looks it was a revolutionary idea, but it has had a lot of Kenyans have complained so much about the services at the Huduma Center, whether it is working, whether the data from the citizens are protected or are not susceptible to international, hackers. How safe is our data? How revolutionary was this idea? And how are you prepared to handle Huduma Center services to the satisfaction of the citizens? Because as it is now, citizens are not, and this is the meeting point of all citizens of Kenya, whether they are from opposition or the government, whether they are supporting you or not. This is the meeting point of citizens.
Direct Recruitment Power Service Commission. So for you, my question is, what is your perspective on this approach? Do you believe other public officers should pursue similar autonomy in their recruitment processes? Do you also think that this can assist in fighting corruption in terms of public recruitment, especially in the issue of nepotism and tribalism? That's my first question. My second question, what are your views on the proposal to amend the Constitution to reduce the number of elected and appointed public officials to alleviate physical pressure caused by the public sector wage bill? Thank you, Honorable Chairman.
Thank you, Mission. Next, Sharia.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. To the nominee, strategic planning is crucial in realizing new policies within the public service. It guarantees that government agencies function efficiently and effectively while remaining responsive to the needs of the citizenry. What is your experience, if any, in strategic planning and policy formulation? I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Can you answer those three?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The emotional stability. Yes, Honorable Speaker. I'm able to. It's not only the two bills which my colleague has mentioned, but also, Mr. Speaker, I came up with the virtue asset bill, which is on different stages of legislative, which is an extremely important bill on matters to do with virtue assets within the space of our republic. I also came up with the election amendment bill, which is also in different stage, as well as sustainable development bill, which is also in different stages of legislative process.
Honorable Ruku, the question from Caleb was very simple. Do you have high emotional intelligence or not? And was your proposal to amend the demonstrations law driven by what word did you use? Lack of emotional intelligence? It's as simple as that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
It was not driven by lack of emotional intelligence, Honorable Speaker.
Then go on and answer him about Huduma centers.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Yes, Huduma centers have revolutionized the way government services are offered in Kenya, and we need to move with speed and ensure we have a Huduma center in each and every constituency or in each and every sub-county in Kenya. At the moment, we have about 52 Huduma centers, and we have 290 constituencies. So we have quite a number of constituencies without Huduma centers, and we need to our fast track with, of course, the National Assembly to ensure we have necessary resources for the Huduma centers across the Republic of Kenya. Also, we need to bring in other services within Huduma Center. At the moment, we have almost 30,000 services which are offered virtually or on a digital platform. But when it comes to the bidding systems, we need to enhance the bidding system when Kenyans are paying. We don't want to have a situation where there is even cash handling at whatever service which is rendered by government. On issues to do with strategic planning, yes, I served as a trustee of Water Sector Trust Fund, and our strategic plan is a purview of the board, and I was one of those who went through the process of having developing a strategic plan for Water Sector Trust Fund in the year 2015. Also, as a member of parliament, it's a requirement for every constituency in the Republic to have a 5-year strategic plan, which also I developed from Bere North constituency, as well as policies. In terms of wage bill, I think I talked about the wage bill. Yes, we need to conduct a review of the public servant and the public services which are offered, and know whether we need some of them or not, and we see how we can cut down the wage bill, but at the same time remunerating those who are doing a good work or good work within the public service. But we need also how to take care of public.
His question
was, can you remind?
Honorable Mishi asked that your predecessor supported autonomy for the AG's office to recruit on their own. Are you also going to support the dismembering of PSC to give autonomy to all other government entities? to recruit on their own?
My approach, Honorable Speaker, is to come up with a unified digital government where all bodies within the government, whether it is police, National Police Service or Judicial Service Commission, all the recruiting agencies, we have about 1 million employees or public servants who are in county government, in Teacher Service Commission, in the military, or that we can be able to have a unified digital government where everybody or every institution knows what is happening in an institution called Central Bank, knows what is happening in another institution called Attorney General, chambers, or in whatever the government institution it is. So there is a way we can have a unified a digital government through employing innovations that we need to talk to each other, and every institution has an autonomy of carrying out their mandate properly, but within the laid down public service regulations.
Point of order, Speaker. Point of order. Of course, it's our colleague, but Honorable Ruku, why don't you be just direct? The question was, are you supporting dismantling of public service from recruiting and allowing everybody to recruit or not? This idea of digitization, how does that come into that question of answering? Honorable Ruku.
Honorable Speaker, I said I will abide by the functions stipulated on the Constitution as far as Public Service Commission is concerned.
Sufficient. Yes.
Can be alluded for the last nominations we have done. Are you experts in public matters? And what is your expertise? Thank you.
Naisola.
Thank you, Chairman. So, listening to my colleagues and most of the perceptions that are out there, you know, depending on the laws that you proposed. So it seems that, and even what others would think, you're abrasive on the positions that you take them so strongly. I'd be keen to hear from you what leadership skills you'll be bringing to the table, from hearing from you, and not just the perceptions that probably we have or colleagues might have that you'll be bringing to the table. Secondly, the issue of interns in public service. There's a program that's going on that interns are recruited for a year, and after the year, they go back to look for employment. I would like to hear what is your take on the absorption of interns into the public service after they finish their internship.
Thank you. Can you answer those three?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. On matters carbon credits, I did not understand.
How did it come in?
I was asked by
Russell, he asked you, you are going to be in charge of distribution of relief food and other relief materials. Are you going to use your position, if you are found suitable, to enrich yourself?
No, Honorable Speaker, I will not use my position to enrich myself.
That was your question, Honorable Russell. Now go to Mule.
There is a second part of my question.
Yes.
And it has to do with the Official Secrets Act.
Yes.
I will be I will abide by the oath of secrecy as a public servant and as a cabinet secretary.
Now go to Mule. Have you lied to this committee?
Honorable Speaker, I have not lied to this committee.
That was your second question. What is your expertise
Honorable
and
Speaker,
suitability for the office to which you are nominated?
I have served as a member of parliament, which is a public office, for 2.5 years, and a very rigorous office for that matter. And as I said from the beginning, I am subjecting myself to Article 10 of our Constitution to ensure I serve the people of Better North with commitment and dedication, where we have done a very commendable job in terms of administering bursaries, doing our schools, and anything that is within the mandate of Member of Parliament as far as the people of Mbeere North whom I represent.
Go to Naisola's question.
In terms of leadership, I'm very firm when it comes to what I believe in, and I think as a cabinet secretary, I will serve the people of Kenya firmly to ensure service delivery trickle down to the very remote places and corners of the Republic of Kenya, and they are done timely and efficiently in all corners of the Republic of Kenya, firmly.
Yes, Robert?
Yeah, we need to put the record straight, Mr. Speaker, because the nominee has said that as a member of parliament from Mbeere, members of parliament administer bursaries. I think that's out of order, and he needs to withdraw that statement because we do not administer bursaries.
We give oversight. You know, we oversight to ensure no discrimination whatsoever. Yes.
Thank you.
And I have performed that excellently, Honorable Speaker.
Majority Leader Hold, Gikaria, introduce yourself. You came late, then ask one question. Then we close with...
and the interns.
Thank you. Oh, yes, absorption of interns.
It is true the internship is done between 6 months to 12 months at the moment, and we need to enhance the internship program in terms of once you finish the internship, what happens next. At the moment, there's no even certification which they are getting. I will ensure any young person who has done internship with the public service gets certification, and we put as an added advantage in terms of recruitment in other government institutions that if you have served as an intern, you have an added advantage to get a job if you do qualify for the role which you have applied.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, and my apologies. Honorable, my name is David Gikaria. I represent Nakuru Town East constituency. Thank you, Chair. Mine is about productivity from the public servants. Honorable Chair, occasionally it's a policy, a labor law policy where a worker has to go on leave. Honorable Chair, I've been looking at some reports from the Public Service Commission. Thousands of public servants do not proceed on leave for various reasons. Maybe they just protection of their position and things like that. And
leave things.
So what I'm just saying, Honorable Speaker, is what is he going to do to make sure that public servants proceed on their leave on time, mandatory leave? Thank you.
Yes, Ruku.
Honorable Speaker, in terms of productivity from the public service, yes, we will ensure that we have accountability as far as public servants are concerned. The output, to ensure the output is measurable, we come up with such innovations as timesheets, which shows that indeed you have gone to workstation and you are doing as per the required of your workstation of your or other service which you're offering to the public. So these will be tools, some of the tools which you will use to measure your output, and in that case to ensure you are productive within your workstation. And this should be mainstreamed across all the government institutions or all the government ministries. For instance, I can give an example, if you allow me, Honorable Speaker, that in judiciary we have a prosecutor, we have an investigator, we have a magistrate, and if one of them is out of the workstation, one of them does not do his or her job properly, then the entire process is derailed. So we ensure that if you are on a case an investigator, you do your investigations timely. We are prosecutor, you don't go to a magistrate and request 2 months to do the investigations, you know. So that Kenyans can have value for their money. On retirement, the policy at the moment is that once you reach the age of 60, you should proceed to retirement. We ensure the process is, the system is digitized. We know when you got into employment, when your date of birth, and by the time you are hitting 60, unless the very specialized skills which may be required within the public service, of course, through the recommendation Public Service Commission, that you may have 2 years probably of the service. But at the same time, we need to synchronize, because when you talk to the universities, professors retire at the age of, I think, 70. When you talk to judiciary, judges retire at the age of, I think, also 70. So we need to harmonize the retirement age. No, I have not said 270. I'm saying there's need to relook the harmonization in terms of which is the right age, depending on the skills which you have for retirement. There should be skills-based.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, mine will be two very quick ones. One in relation to what I think either Robert or the member for Matungulu had asked on your experience. Because you've only served in public office for just 2.5 years. From your CV and everything, all the documents you've submitted, you've only been in public office as a member of parliament for the last 2.5 years. And you're now transitioning from elective office, having served only for 2 years, to an appointive office in the executive. We have seen in the recent past people who served for one term of parliament and transitioned to the executive become extremely arrogant, overbearing on other leaders, holding especially members of parliament with contempt. Are we likely to see the same arrogance, contempt for members of parliament and other elected leaders that we have seen with others who served before you in parliament for one term, now that you even served for half a term, not even one term? Do you see the hubris that we've seen before with you? Should you be approved by this House? My second question, Honorable Ruku, you have been a key defender of this government in and out of parliament, on national TV, in the villages in Embu. And the president from the executive has expressed his frustration with having cabinet secretaries who cannot espouse a single government policy, who cannot be there to speak for and on behalf of government. If you are approved in your transition to the executive, are you now going to become too bossy to be seen to defend the same government that you're being appointed to? Will you be too bossy to interact and work with members of the public, or shall we see the same Ruko who was able to espouse government policy and government agenda on national TV? Are we going to continue seeing that side of Ruku in articulating government policy and communicating what government is doing to the Kenyan people from the executive?
Hold Ruku. Mary Masa, you've just come late. Introduce yourself and ask only one question.
Thank you, Speaker. I'm sorry I'm late. I was in another committee. Masa Mary is my name, MP Teso South. Honorable Ruku, I just have one question. How are you going to ensure that there is transparency and accountability in public service, especially when it comes to recruitment into public service opportunities, which is perceived by the public to be a preserve of a few?
or a few regions? How are you going to ensure there's that equity? Thank you.
Thank you so much. For Honorable I must say I responded to that, Honorable Speaker, that the Constitution, Article 232 and 10 of our Constitution, I will abide by that to ensure no nepotism, no corruption as in employment, and more so within the public service. I'll go out of my way to ensure Article 232 is well followed. The question by the Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah, the Leader of Majority, I will work very closely with the leadership of the Parliament, National Assembly, and both Senate, in terms of the committees, the departmental committees.
The question was, will you be bossy, condescending, and arrogant?
I will not, Honorable Speaker. You will not see such kind of character from me.
Point of order, Speaker.
Let him answer a master's question first.
I have started with the master's question.
Okay.
Number 2, from Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah, yes, I will continue articulating the government policies, the government project to Kenyans, because the Ministry of Public Service cut across all other ministries. I will do so firmly, and this is a government of the people of the Republic of Kenya. All services which government is offering, I will continue articulating the government policies and why government is doing so.
Dawood, what was it?
I don't know if it was the slip of tongue. He said he will just be working with the leadership of Parliament. Will he work with the other MPs who are not in leadership?
I will work with each and every member of Parliament, both the National Assembly and the Senate.
Thank you. Honorable Ruku.
As well as the county governments, because the public service cut even in the county government.
A few questions from the public. What will the Cabinet Secretary nominee do for persons with disabilities? On employment, that you already answered. The public service in Kenya has often faced criticism for nepotism and lack of accountability. What concrete measures will you implement to ensure that recruitment and promotions are strictly merit-based? You have already talked on that. This you haven't, you can answer. What is the nominee's perspective on the widespread perception that social protection programs like Inua Jamii are politically targeted rather than needs-based? The second one that you can answer, what is his stance on conducting a nationwide lifestyle audit of all public and state officers as a condition for holding office? If appointed, would he recommend the same? You can answer those two.
The first one, in terms of ensuring those who are physically...
that one you already answered. I told you answer. What is your perspective on the widespread perception that social protection programs like Inua Jamii are politically targeted rather than needs-based?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Inua Jamii is a very key component, a program for the people of the Republic of Kenya, especially those who are aged, and through our administration, through the chiefs and assistant chiefs, and also the public opinion, our elected leaders in our grassroots MCAs, will ensure the Inua Jamii is well targeted, and it targets the very vulnerable in our communities, and also those who have reached the age of 70 and they don't have the dependents who can take care of them, through consultative forums for opinion leaders, field elders, chiefs and assistant chiefs, and also our MCAs, to ensure.
You will not politicize the program.
I will not at any moment politicize this very important program.
Lifestyle audit?
Yes, lifestyle audit has been tried in the past. I think it's something that we may want to consider moving forward so that we minimize to everybody be accountable, especially the public servants.
Thank you, Ruku. We'll ask you a few other questions. What is your net worth?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Land and buildings, about 40 million. Family residence, 60 million. SACCO and savings, 15 million. Share from private company, 250 million. Motor vehicles, about 12 million, a total of 377 million.
Have you ever been convicted of an offense in a court of law?
No.
Have you ever been adversely mentioned in a parliamentary committee report?
No.
Do you hold any office in any political party?
No.
You're not an official of DP?
I'm not an official of DP. I'm a member.
Have you ever been dismissed or removed from office for contravention of provisions of Article 75 of the Constitution?
No.
We have received your documents, have been cross-checked with what we have and have been found in order, so we can now release you to go to your other duties.
I thank you, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, for this opportunity to interact with this very important committee and also with Kenyans. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and may you have a good afternoon. Honorable members, it's 3:10. Can we break for lunch for 30 minutes? We resume at 20